Sharona, are you in?
Hello, good day.
Ah,
I'm here.
right, good. You did not respond to my WhatsApp, so I was wondering if I were to start.
Oh, sorry, I couldn't. No. I get online, but I couldn't go through my WhatsApp. WhatsApp is banned here,
Yeah, it's
so
okay.
we need the VPN.
Are you in Tehran or what? Are you in Italy?
Yeah, I'm in Tehran now.
Not in Italy.
No, I'm in Tehran now. Not in Italy.
Okay,
I'm in
okay.
Tehran. I will
Right,
be in
nice.
Italy next month.
Right, nice to see you again. Right, Sharona, all yours.
All right, so good day, everyone. The paper to be presented, Impact of Change Management for Minority Foundation Students' Ethic Identity in China by Yi Huang. Yi Huang, can we have you here?
Hello. Yes, I'm here.
Hello. Okay, welcome. Okay, I can
Hello.
see you now. All right. So, my dear, you'll be having 15 minutes, which it's we have to consider 5 minutes Q&A. So the floor is all yours. You just let me know anytime you're ready. And please start by introducing yourself. At the same time, if you have any international co-author or co-presenter, please mention. Are you ready?
Ready. Thank you.
Good luck. Good luck.
Good afternoon, everyone. And it is my honor to be here to introduce our study on the title of Impact of Change Management for Minority Foundation Students' Ethnic Identity in China. And I'll be the presenter. This research was done by 3 researchers, which are my colleague Fei Ma and my supervisor in Segi University in Malaysia, Dr. Sheila Devi. As we know that nowadays, the world becomes smaller and smaller, and people are connecting each other quite easier. So it is important to understand ourselves and the differences between the others. As such, identity research becomes a very hot topic nowadays. Our study basically relies on to identify the character of ethnic identity for a particular group of students in China. And also because of the Chinese government's policy launched for construction to construct a harmonious society, how identity reconstruction for those ethnic minority foundation students have been a hot topic in China as well. So our study will focus on those group of students in higher educational institutions in China, and mainly focus on the implementation of change management for higher educational institutions. And so besides that, cheating strategies from educational institutions shift the identity will also be examined. So based on that, our research objectives lies in 2 points. The first is to explore the factors of change management that impact the ethnic identity of minority foundation students. And the second is to determine the dimensions of ethnic identities which are impacted by change management with sustainable developmental education among Chinese minority foundation students. So the study also did the literature review through articles in 2 dimensions. First is the ethnic identity. Erickson in 1968 first introduced ethnic identity into the research field, and then later by Fanny in the States and her study team explored the ethnic identity with quantitative methods, and also constructed the measurement of ethnic identity. But ethnic identity, the term, was introduced into China during the 1990s, and the researchers began to identify or examine the situation in China. And recently, the hot topics like on the identity resolution of ethnic minority foundation students, which several researchers, both from China mainland and foreign countries, also discussed this. While for change management dimension, this paper, the literature only refers to the change management in higher educational institutions. So within the recent 5 years, change management in higher educational institutions tends to focus on the sustainable change. And for the sustainable change management, especially in higher educational institutions in China, there are some discussions between the China mainland and Hong Kong, Taiwan, and Macau institutions. So several conceptual frameworks also constructed from those researchers. And from the articles, we can see that sustainable change management in education, especially in higher educational institutions, is a trend. So based on that, our study will focus on that to examine that how our foundation students, ethnic foundation students, will be affected by those sustainable change management. The study was conducted through a qualitative approach. We arranged semi-structured interviews, and 6 interviewees were selected. Before they done the interview, we sent them the consent forms and explained the rules and the regulations for the interview and other related informations, and signed by all of these students. And also they were told that all of their interviews were recorded. Table 3.1 is the example of interviewee's background. This is a profile and study background for one of the interviewee. As we can see that the interviewees were selected by purpose. All of them have their own characteristics. And this one is a male student as a class representative in the foundation year. And he originally from a typical ethnic province in China. And he himself is a dominant, has a dominant ethnicity of that region. In Chinese different provinces, that there are many ethnicities in one region. So we choose this male student as a dominant ethnicity. One is a kind of rep. And also this student not only can read and write Chinese Mandarin, but also his own ethnic language. Through the 55 minority groups, not every minority group have its own ethnic language, but this student, his ethnicity group has their own language, and also he can speak and write their own language. This is also one of the reasons why we choose these students to do the interview. So based on that, during his interview, we can find that throughout his study experience, he have many typical views on ethnic identity, not only from the same ethnic group as who shared the same ethnic group with him, and also from different ethnic groups, which are the different ethnicities. And the other part is from the major group, which is Han group. So the views are very typical in that male student. So when we collected all of these data from 6 interviewees, then 3 level clusters of we used the in vivo to illustrate the manufacture, and comes to the findings that from the interview, we concluded that for Chinese higher educational institutions, for the sustainable change management, the categories lies on the following 5 aspects, which are on-campus experience, teaching, assessment and reporting, campus operation, and human factors. These 5 aspects have the impact on those ethnic foundation students. So the areas
My
or
dear,
dimensions.
please have
that
in
have-
mind that your 10 minutes, it's over. Try to shorten your presentation.
Thank you, got it. So the dimensions that affected by the change management for ethnic identity lies in 4 areas. They are exploration, commitment, resolution, and affirmation. From those findings, we discussed further with 3 conclusions as listed on the slides. First is it is necessary to have a reform in sustainable change management in Chinese higher educational institutions. As we mentioned that the ethnic minority foundation students need more attention be paid for their studies in higher educational institutions. And also, the second conclusion is sustainable change management in education of Chinese foundation minority students lies in 3 categories, which are teaching quality, curriculum settings, and content of textbook. Then among these 3, 2 of these, curriculum settings and the content of textbook, refers to the assessment and the reporting, which concluded that this is the essential part for Chinese higher educational institutions to be considered as a sustainable factor for change management for those minority foundation students. And that's all. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Any question from the audience, please? Because I do have a lot of questions. Okay, so if there's no question from the audience, I can proceed with asking you a few points to make it more clear for me and others. Well done, good presentation. Overall, the presentation has a smooth flow, but it's still, we would like to have more illustrations, more figures or pictures. Anyway, my dear, when you mention your title is Impact of Change Management for Minority Foundation Students' Ethnic Identity in China. It's a very big question for me, since you said that you are in Segi College. So have you done your research among Chinese in Malaysia or Chinese in China?
No, these only for Chinese minority foundation students, not Malaysian.
I know Chinese student in China or Chinese student in Malaysia. It was, as for my understanding, that was Chinese student in Malaysia, right?
No, in China actually.
So when you say that in China, so it makes it a little bit difficult for you, because when you say in China, so the title, when you say that higher education students, it's got foundation students, so we have to make it clear for us. Is it like private schools or public universities? I mean, private universities, public universities. So which one is your scope? China is quite big, and as far as I know, you have various type of cultures, ethics in China. So I would rather to recommend you make it a little bit narrowed down, make it very clear. When you talk about ethnic identity in China, which part of China are you talking about? Which culture are you pointing at? It's going to be like, it's a wide country with a lot of population, so it's going to be like confusing. And among this big country, how could you come up with only 6 interview? Only 6 interview. Can you support why you have picked only 6 interview? What was the reason that you could have only 6?
Thank you for your comments. Yes, the title should be narrowed down much. Yeah, and I totally agree. And for the 6 interviewees, actually, this is the qualitative part of the research. So, but nevertheless, it is still a kind of limitation of this study, because there are 55 minority groups in China. So, due to the time and the budget of the study, we could not have like 55 reps for each of the minority group. Yes, and for the further studies, I think we will focus on that areas and do much better. Thank you very much.
All right. You see, this is something that even today, that's your presentation day, it's a time for both of us to learn from each other. So what I'm saying is that, you see, if you would put it in your presentation, when you were talking about the research background, you could say that, so there are 55 identity groups in China. So, and then when it comes to your research methodology, you could say that according to the times and budget, we have selected 6 groups only. Each groups, that was much better. You didn't need me to ask you to explain. It was supposed to be in your presentation. And I strongly suggest you to put it in your future studies, and a little bit more information regarding your research scope. What else I have written? And then, by the way, you said that you have chosen the 6 interview by purpose, because he was able to write and read the language, if I don't mistake. That was, I mean, his ability, and then he was the class representative. So these are the things that it's interesting, but at the same time, I have noticed in your presentation, I guess it's a slide number methodology, you said that researchers' view. So my dear, we are not psychologists, and according to what we do in our research, we are not putting our personal perception into research. You cannot say that this is my view, that he's the class representative, that's some facts that you're saying that, but he has a better understanding of management style in details. This is something that we cannot say as a researcher. For me, it is not right to put my own personal view on someone who is just someone that I'm interviewing them. So I would rather to suggest you to remove this part. Researcher's view, it's somehow researcher's perception towards the guy that you were interviewing. So you didn't know him. There is no psychological, or any kind of background search, or you cannot analyze him only during the interview. Even though you do, you cannot put it in your research. What we can do is that we can write down our observation, saying that towards the interview he was shy or he was nervous, according to the facts that you can say that he was having twisting his fingers or sweating. But just saying that he may have a typical view on ethnic identity or something. You cannot write this one in academic paper, your personal view on someone that you're interviewing. So anyway, that was a good beginning for today, and I liked your topic, and I'm sure that it's going to help the students. Your topic became very popular nowadays. Recently, I met another researcher from Germany that he was doing the same topic, and I really appreciate what you have done. So whatever I said was just to improve your research.
I've learned a lot. Thank you very much.
All right. So I hope to see you again in our next conference.
Thank
so
you.
if you do not have any another question, can I have the next paper, Influence of Environmental Knowledge and Green Trust on Green Patches Behavior, please? Lee Song-gyu.
Right, Sharoda,
Yes.
the presenter is caught in the traffic jam in China. So they send apologies. So I think we move on to the next presenter.
Sure.
Right.
So Towards a Green Future by Associate Professor Dr. Rathbari.
Good afternoon. Let me just share the screen here.
Yes, thank you. So I would just like to say that if you have any international co-presenter, please let me know. And your 10 minutes starts from now.
Okay, sure. Thank you so much. Can you see my slides?
Pleasure.
Can you see my slides?
Yes.
Okay.
I can see your slide.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah. All right. Good afternoon to everyone, and I hope Bali is a
Welcome and good luck.
fantastic place. I hope Bali is enjoying itself. I am Associate Professor Dr. Ratneswari Rasya, and these are the co-authors. Mr. Songlin is my PhD student, Dr. Malini Kanjanapati and Dr. Kimi Chong, who are all from Segi University. The topic is Towards a Greener Future, exploring factors influencing green purchase intention and pro-environmental behavior among young consumers. So what we're looking at is sustainable development. And that seems to be the order of the day today. Everyone's talking about it. And when we say sustainable development, we look at development that meets the needs of the current generation, but it also has to meet the needs of the future generation. We cannot be greedy. We cannot be, thinking, okay, as long as it's for me now, I don't care about what happens in the future. We cannot do that because our children and their children will be taking over the earth. And so sustainable development is extremely important. And we look at businesses or corporations, they have three positive balances. One is economic or financial, one is community, and one is ecological. And these are called the triple bottom line. So today's companies cannot just say, I want a lot of profits, I want shareholders' wealth. because they have to look at stakeholder. And if they look at sustainable development, if you want to achieve it, if you want to maintain it, you have to make sure that these three core elements are harmonized. Economic growth for financial purposes, social inclusion to make sure the marginal societies are continue to be addressed, and environmental protection. Today in Malaysia, at this current moment, we're suffering a massive haze, and we're all locked indoors because the haze is so bad. The environment has been compromised because there's some forest fire in Kalimantan, and hearsay is caused by some of the plantations that are there, who instead of cutting down the trees, they are just burning the trees and the forest, and it's causing a haze across some of the ASEAN countries. Yeah, so this is not sustainable. So when we look at climate change, we are very sad, because Asia and the Pacific seems to be the highest in terms of pollution. Now, this was back in 2015. CO2 emissions in Asia and the Pacific was 40%, and the rest of the world was 60%. But currently, it's become terrible. We are number one in polluting the world, and we don't seem to be, very concerned about it. And that's why this haze seems to be a yearly occurrence. Okay. Now, unsustainable production and consumption is really bad, because it has led to higher levels of CO2 emissions, and that is causing the climate change and the global warming that we are facing. What has happened is, because of the greenhouse gases, they have this ability to trap all the heat that's coming, and they are keeping us in this big hot they enclose that heat, and we are all suffering as a result, okay? As a result of our own doing. Now, multitude of environmental challenges are happening, with the use of non-sustainable products playing a substantial role in exacerbating these concerns. You look at 89% of People's Republic of China, India, and Indonesia share of Asia and Pacific's greenhouse. We are looking at 2030, the 90% of all the carbon emission in Asia and the Pacific is going to be produced by these three countries. And that's really shocking indeed. We have to do something about it. Then we look at the impact of global warming to what's going to happen. Now, 6 out of 10 nations most affected by extreme weather events will occur in Asia and the Pacific. So this is a wake-up call, but I hope people are hearing. I hope the corporations are hearing, and the consumers are hearing, that they need to stop buying from corporations that are not bothered to do it properly. 18 million Bangladeshis will be displaced by a 1 meter rise in sea level by 2050. It's just 1 meter. People say 1 meter only, but actually that's a really huge thing. And even the 0.5 degrees Celsius increase in heat is going to cause massive damage, massive floods, massive earthquakes, and all that's going to happen. For the past 20 years, Asia and the Pacific have experienced over 320 earthquakes. We're looking at really massive amount of earthquake, massive amount of floods, and we have to invest so much to overcome all this. And it's all because of our own doing. So when are we going to stop this? So there has to be mitigation measures to address the environmental degradation resulting from pollution and unsustainable consumption and production. Primarily focus on restricting pollution emissions and promoting green consumption. So we've said now we have to have consumerism, where the consumers become the activists, and we say, no more. I'm not going to buy from any producers that's not going to produce something green. Yeah. So there is a pertinent need for further studies to address the problem of unsustainable consumption and production. So this particular paper is just looking at green purchase intention and pro-environmental behavior. How do we change intention to action? What are the things that are causing that intention to increase? And will that intention become an action? So we are looking at environmental knowledge, looking at green social status, green perceived value, how environmental knowledge affects green purchase intention, and how green purchase intention mediates a relationship between environmental knowledge and green purchase intention. We're also looking at how, when you perceive the product to be of value, how does it change your trust towards that product, and how that affects your intention. So we want to increase green purchase intention among people, but that's not all, because intention is not translated to action. There must be some ways to translate it into pro-environmental behavior. So the impact of environmental knowledge, green social status, green perceived value of green purchase intention, alongside the mediating roles of green purchase attitude and green trust in ensuring pro-environmental behavior among young consumers in China. Now, the measurement model, there are two models that we need to look at, the measurement model and the structural model. So when we looked at the measurement model, we found that the model was very good because all the points for Crumba alpha composite reliability and all above 0.7, and then the average variance extracted is all above 0.5, which is the cutoff, and then the R square is for social sciences, anything above 0.3 is considered very good. So this is almost close to 0.3, we consider it okay. Then the discriminant validity to see whether the items measuring one construct is very different from the items measuring another construct. So when we find that the coefficients all here, these are all lesser than what's in the diagonal, then we say very good, excellent. Therefore, there is discriminant validity. That means the questionnaire is valid and it discriminates between the items in one construct is discriminated against the items. They are different. Basically, they are different. And they don't measure items from one construct, doesn't measure another construct. They only measure their own construct and what they're supposed to measure. Okay. Then when we look at the structural model to see the relationships, we find the total effect, direct effects and the indirect effects. So let us go to the direct effects and we see that everything is supported and the highest score is 21.299, which is the green perceived value on green perceived trust, which means this is very good. If someone finds that the green products are very valuable, to them it's perceived as valuable, then they will trust the product, and therefore that in turn will become an intention, because we look at green trust on GPI, this is also significant. And then when the second one, we look at how green purchase intention affects pro-environmental behavior, we see a very high, very, very significant and very high magnitude in the number. Therefore, we say that green purchase intention has a very high effect on pro-environmental behavior. We also see environmental knowledge affecting attitude, which is very important, very high number, because attitude is everything. If we have young people whose attitude is not towards green products, when we talk to many of these young people, we find that some of them don't know what is green products. Some of them say, no, it's expensive, I'm not interested to buy. So we don't have that attitude towards green. And so it's good to have knowledge, it's good to have awareness programs. And we look at the indirect effects, which is the mediating, we find that the indirect effect is significant, the direct effects are significant, therefore we have a partial mediator. The green purchase attitude is a partial mediator in the relationship between environmental knowledge and green purchase intention, and green trust is a partial mediator between green perceived value and green perceived intention. So, green purchase intention. So what we have is that we tell ourselves attitude does play a role, trust does play a role, and if we can build these things, we will have more and more young people saying, I need to make sure Earth is saved, I need to make sure that we do it correctly, that we purchase green products, because they are the people that are going to take over the world. They are the ones that's going to be the leaders of tomorrow, right? So implications of this study, we say environmental education and awareness, very, very important. The need to invest in comprehensive environmental education programs in schools and communities, starting from the young age of preschool. We cannot say, let's wait until they understand. We got to give them toys. We got to give them a little, a lot of videos to watch, or something that you can do on green, where you say, okay, let's clean up the beach. Even as young children, when you start putting that in their mind, they will remember it, and their attitude towards the earth will become different. Okay, and so for primary school, secondary school, we don't seem to have much subjects that talk about green economics, green, anything green. They don't realize these things. You see, the young people now, green marketing and branding encourage businesses to incorporate green aspects into their products and marketing strategies. So they need to know that if you're not going to turn green, when consumers are not going to purchase from them. And then product certification and labeling highlight the environmental benefits and perceived value, because we saw earlier green perceived value has a very great impact on trust. which has a great impact on green purchase intention. So we need to actually really look at these things, because for someone to say this is valuable, I need to see what's the benefits of purchasing that green product, right? And then economic incentives give a lot of tax breaks and subsidies to producers that produce green products, that use clean methods, that do not pollute the or the air or the water, right? Because right now you see the plantations in Indonesia that and they may not be Indonesian companies, they may be Malaysian companies. If they are not looking at clean ways of cutting down the forest, and I mean not the forest, the oil palm plantations, then they don't care about the whole thing, and that we have to punish them. So I think there has to be a certain level of enforcement by the governments of all countries, including Indonesia, to if it's Malaysian companies, they should do something. They should put them in jail. They should do something that is very drastic, because enforcement is what starts everything moving. And finally, behavioral nudging, using behavioral insights to design interventions that nudge individuals toward eco-friendly choices and behaviors. Because to change and to make pro-environmental behavior, you need people to be pushed to the corner. For example, Malaysia started its no plastic bag. Initially, it was only Saturdays. After that, it became every day, and now we don't have plastics. They don't even allow you to buy the plastic every day anymore. They said no more. We have to change your attitude. The same thing with no smoking. They actually told people stop smoking, otherwise we will charge you. And because they were so good with their enforcement, now many of all restaurants, you don't see people smoking anymore, which is a very good thing, because you can bring young kids now to this restaurants, and it's all clean air, because we already have enough with haze. We don't need any more pollution. Okay, so this behavioral nudging, I think, is a huge thing to start changing people's behavior. And so with that, I thank you.
Thank you for your very wise presentation. I really enjoyed.
Thank you so much.
Any question from the audience? All right, so I just wanted to share with you a few things. First of all, I was very curious. Did your team do the graphic, or was it just all the image or figures that you made that was for this presentation, or you could find it from the internet?
I actually took it from the reports from World Bank and ASEAN Development Bank. The sources are cited in my
okay. Yeah, I know. I saw the source, I mean the image source, but I was like still interested to ask, because that was very interesting and it matches your presentation. So that means the topic goes, let me read it again. As for my understandings, it's towards a greener future and pro-environmental behavior among young generation in Asia.
Young consumers. Yeah,
right?
Actually, we
young
took
consumers.
Yes, the young consumers we took from China, because I got my PhD student is doing in China, so we got it from people in China, because China in certain provinces, they have very high levels of carbon emission. For example, the province of Shanxi has very, very high levels of carbon emission. So we
the highest level of.
Yes. So we were very interested to see how young people in China look at, and in that province looks at green purchase, and whether they want to actually change their purchase patterns.
So that means among the young generation in China, or in Asia, better to say, right?
Yes.
All right. So maybe one comment goes for the topic only. The rest was very interesting, and then I really enjoyed. Thanks for your presentation.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it very much.
One more thing I just wanted to share with you. I was quite agree with the example that you said. When you ask people why you don't go for green product, they mostly say that it's going to be expensive, because brands, they usually took it as advantage and say that since, I mean, we are expensive because we are green. So maybe according to your the outcomes that you have, economic incentives. So maybe the government can play a big role and help to decrease the prices, right?
Yeah, that's right. By giving some subsidies tax incentives to producers, and also to say that if you purchase green products, maybe we can give you income tax deductions also to encourage
Exactly.
behavior change. Yeah.
Yeah, this is going to be a big help because otherwise all the brands, they are making it as a marketing advantage.
It's a
So
niche,
if you're green,
that's
so
right.
you're
Yes,
expensive.
correct. I agree completely with you there.
Yeah. Okay, thank you so much. That was my honor to
Thank-
have your
Thank
presentation
you.
with me.
Thank you
You're
so
welcome.
much. Appreciate very much.
You're welcome. Same here.
Okay.
So, yeah, if there is no question or no comment, can we proceed with our previous presenter, Mr. Yusuf, or shall we continue with our next presenter?
Yes, I can continue with the next one because the previous will not be presenting. And
Okay,
just
okay.
a reminder that we're already running late, 15 minutes. So
Okay,
please, yeah,
Okay.
right.
So, Associate Professor Dr. Yuan, Green Purchase Behavior in Malaysia. Miss Yu Jiwan.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, but I cannot see you.
Okay.
Okay. Hello,
Yeah.
my dear. So since we are running late, so your 10 minutes starts from now, and please manage your time.
Okay, I'm trying to share my screen. Okay,
Okay.
just wait for a moment.
Please introduce yourself, and if you have any international co-presenter, please introduce as well.
Okay, can my
So meanwhile that you are sharing your slide, maybe you can start by introducing yourself on the topic.
Okay.
So your 10 minutes starts now.
Okay.
Good
So,
luck.
can you see my screen sharing now?
Yes, I can.
Okay. So good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so honored to do my presentation, and my topic is to examine primary school teachers' attitudes towards technology integration in primary education. And so firstly, I would like to come with the contents, introduction, background of study, importance of research, literature review, methodology, findings, conclusion, discussion, as well as Q&A. And the first part, when we do the introduction, okay, I would like to say that ICT actually means information and communication technology. And today's society, information and communication technology has become an ever-present force, deeply ingrained in all aspects of our lives. Its crucial role in our daily routines highlights its significance, especially in education. So this paper focused on exploring the point of views of primary school teachers regarding the technology in their classrooms. Additionally, it also examines how educators' academic backgrounds and years of technology in primary education. These research objectives include identifying primary teachers' attitudes toward technology use and investigating potential differences based on teaching experience and educational qualifications. So now let's move to the background of the study. Firstly, the ICT is omnipresent, impacting every aspect of our lives. Besides to explore primary school teachers' perspectives on integrating technology in their classrooms, last but not least, to investigate how academic backgrounds and technology experience influence their attitudes toward the technology in primary education. And for my paper, so there are three research objectives. Firstly, to assess primary teachers' attitudes regarding incorporating technology in teaching pupils. So accordingly, the research question number one is, what are the primary school teachers' perspectives regarding incorporating technology in instructing students? The second one, the objective is to examine potential disparities in these attitudes based on the educational qualifications of teachers. Accordingly, the research question is, do disparities exist in teachers' viewpoints on the utilization of technology in teaching children, depending on their educational qualification in the primary school context? The last one, to investigate potential variance in these attitudes based on the teaching experience of primary teachers. So, research objectives is, are there variance in teachers' perspective regarding the application and of technology in teaching children based on their years of teaching experience at the primary level? So when we come to the significance of the research, the study sheds light on integrating technology into primary education. And the beneficiaries include educators, parents, school administrators, and educational authorities, and also set the foundation for a child's academic journey. In terms of the literature review, there are only two concepts I would like to clarify. The first one is about the definition of ICT. So it is proposed by L. in 2020. It is profoundly imparts personal and professional life, enhancing knowledge sharing and communication. And the second one is about the influence of ICT in primary education. It's a mixed contribution to the success of the e-learning system, which also raised up by AQoL and Action in 2018. It also affected e-learning access. So which also proposed by the AI Breakout in 2020. Okay, I would like to clarify the methodology of this paper. So now, firstly, in terms of the purpose of the research, aims to understand elementary school teachers' attitude toward technology use, besides investigating potential variance in attitudes based on teaching experience and qualifications. And for the data analysis methods, I would like to use the SPS statistical package for a social science used for data analysis. Firstly, for the first question, I would like to use the descriptive statistics for addressing the first one. And in terms of the second and the third one, variance analysis for to be made by the one-way ANOVA. So in terms of the questionnaire design, precision in assessing attitudes towards technology integration section includes background information, educational qualification, and views on technology in primary school classrooms. Finally, survey administered to 50 primary school teachers in Guangzhou, China, and focus on rigorous quantitative analysis. And in terms of the weight of distribution, it is by WeChat mini program named Wenjianxin Questionnaire Star to illustrate. So about the findings, okay, descriptive statistics were used to analyze participants about the demographics such as the age, gender, education, as well as the teaching experience. And this approach also qualified primary school teachers' attitudes towards integrating technology into lesson plans, addressing the research questions. So as you can see from the table 1 to table 4, actually it is a demographic question from the data analysis. Okay, you can see that from table 1, female take up on the large percentage of it. In terms of the second dimension of the age of participants, you can also see that the younger participants, okay, will be the frequency will be higher. And as you can see from table 3, in terms of the academic level participants, bachelor's degree occupy the largest percentage of it. And in this paper, no PhD holder will take part in this research. And in terms of table 4, experience analysis of the participants, that means about their teaching experience, okay, from 0 to 5 years, okay, makes the greatest properties of this research. So now let's move to the conclusion of it. Firstly, the cognitive insights and qualitative exploration, and the cognitive analysis provides valuable insights into attitudes. And qualitative study also needs to develop into underlying motivation and concerns of the teachings regarding technology integration. And additionally, relevance to stakeholders findings also extend beyond educators to parents, because they can also benefit from the awareness to balanced learning. And comparedness understanding focus on teachers' attitude, their backgrounds, and broader implication and shareholders. Okay, I would like to draw the conclusion from this research. Okay, you can also see from my paper, from the table 6 and table 7, the one-way level analysis were used to make the analysis. We can see from the F value. So firstly, it have significant impacts on this. In addition, between this group, we can see this we can draw this conclusion that so the technology do make positive impacts on educators in their preschool and primary school teaching. In addition, the literature review also highlights that the many-faceted nature of technology integration in primary education. It is also need to explore the teachers' attitudes, the influence of the academic backgrounds and experience, and the broader implication for shareholders. Also endeavor to make a contribution to comprehensive and nurse comprehension to primary educational paradigm. Okay, the interplay between teachers' views and the integration of technology and primary class education. And from the conclusion, we also know that while quantitative analysis can provide valuable insight into the prevalence of concerned attitudes, it may need more depth to understand the underlying reasons for these attitudes. Okay, so this is my presentation. Thanks
Thank you.
for attention.
All right, thanks for your time management. That was just 10 minutes. So we didn't exceed the time. So any question from the audience, please? All right, since we are running late, so I just wanted to thank you for your good presentation. And I just wanted to ask you to go to your second slide, please.
Okay, second one, right?
Yeah, if I don't mistaken, was the second one. Yeah, the research background of the study. Okay. So, and no, that it's not this one. So having this research background, and then you were applying this research towards the primary school teachers, right?
Yes, yes, that's true.
All right, and then you mentioned that there is no PhD teachers participating in the questionnaire survey. So I just wanted to ask you, that was my curiosity. We do not have PhD holder teachers for primary school, or you had PhD holder teachers in these primary schools, but they didn't participate in the questionnaire.
Okay, so as a matter of fact, okay, for the teacher who teach for the pupils, means the primary school, they don't need to own the PhD degree. So in this questionnaire research, okay, so no participant took part in this, yeah, in this research.
So that means so there is no PhD holder teacher teaching primary school.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
Maybe few.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that's it. Otherwise, since everything was clear, I have no further question, and I wish you luck for your future studies.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
So, Professor, can we proceed with our next presenter, enhancing talent development using AI driven?
Yes, please do. Please do. Carry on.
All right. Okay. I hope that I can have, but there is something, since I mean, the presenter is not here yet, I just wanted to check with you something. The second presenter, influence of environmental knowledge and green trust, didn't show up, right?
Yes, apologies from the presenter.
Yeah.
Will not be presenting.
Yes, yes. And then the third presentation was by Towards Greener Future, that I enjoyed a lot. And then Green Pages Behavior in Malaysia, we missed that too, because I have this title, but they didn't show up to.
She presented.
Yeah, the fourth presenter is Green Pages Behavior in Malaysia.
She presented, I think.
No, the one that has presented was Towards a Greener Future, exploring factors influencing green purchase intention.
Dr. Yuan. Dr. Yuan?
Dr. Yuan presented, but the topic that she presented was I will read for you. Was Towards a Greener Future. So Towards a Greener Future.
It might they might have changed the topic title.
Okay, that means we do not have this number.
Yeah, it's the same presentation with just the title.
All right, because I did have it 2 times in my timetable.
Okay.
Okay, can I have Dr. Nur Haslinda?
Yep, she's there.
Yep, we have.
All right. Okay, Dr. Nur Haslinda.
Right. Very good evening,
Let me
everyone.
know if you are ready. Welcome to your presentation time. So your 10 minutes is up from now if you are ready, and then please manage your time because I'll have to stop you in 10 minutes.
Will do. Thank you very much.
Okay, good luck.
Thank you. Okay, let me share my slides so that we can basically go through to the discussion. Right. Today I'm presenting enhancing talent development using AI-driven curriculum industry integration. So this is the topic that I present in the paper. So basically, the reason why we are trying to use information from the industry, information from the academia, and then we want to develop our talent so that our talent is tailored into what the industry needs, and we will not waste our time developing talent that is unuseful. So basically, there is a current mismatch exists between the skill set possessed by the graduates and the skill demanded by the industry. The industry wants something else, but the academia produce graduates who understand and who are familiar with something else. And because of this, it creates a challenge in meeting industry requirement. The industry need the people to work on. And then all this mismatch is actually disrupting a lot of things. So that's why we see there's a lot of statistics saying that first, we don't have enough graduates. Second, we don't have enough graduates that match the skill that the industry want. To make it worse, the technological disruption, excuse me, reshape various sectors, and then it actually lead to the shift in available job opportunities. Some statistics to support 77% of employers in 41 countries in 2023 have difficulty in filling high skill position. To fill up the low skill position is not a problem, but now we want to have a high skill staff so that we can do more work, because for low skill work we can use AI to actually fulfill those need, but for high levels thinking skill we need to have the graduate who are trained. And this is also supported by 92% of small businesses in the United States in 2023 July, only few or no qualified applicants. And
even in Malaysia, the Malaysian graduate in 2021, we have 18% of unemployed and work outside labor force. So this is a problem. And because of this is because we have a very rigid and outdated curriculum structure. If you want to actually follow the industry, you have to revamp your curriculum. If you want to revamp your curriculum, you have to follow certain requirement, and certain requirement need to have some green light from the authorities. And because of this, it will take time. By the time we already fulfill what is needed by the industry, the idea is already outdated. So this is like egg and chicken situation. And then the industry continuous adaptation to customer preferences, because they want it fast, they want it quick, they want it cheap. So industry will keep on changing their ability, their way of doing things. So the academia need to follow this kind of fast-paced changes. And because of that, sometimes the academia may not have enough substance, or what we call it, enough manpower to actually cope with the changes. Stringent syllabus requirement for quality control, because if you want to change the quality, if you want to change the syllabus, you have to follow certain rules and regulation. You cannot just change abruptly. And if you want to follow all these timelines and whatnot, so we may not have time to actually to catch with whatever that the industry is doing. Some of the graduate, they don't even bother to actually add value added skill to whatever that they know. Whatever that is provided by the academia, that is what they will actually use and do. And of course, we need to have a direct correlation between academia, industry, and graduate. Because right now, we have it, but not enough. And that is why the student that we produce, the academia produce, may not fit to the industry. And then the industry keep on changing their requirement. And because of this, we always have the problem of unskilled or incompetent graduate. So because when graduate finish their study, the industry need to train the student more, and then only they can actually work with the industry. So this is a problem. So what we are trying to actually propose to use AI, artificial intelligence, to bridge between academia, graduate, industry. We want to actually build a platform that we can extract data from the industry. Where we get it? We get it from the job advertisement. And then we get the input from the academia. This is from the syllabus. And using AI, we can actually mix and match the requirement and what is provided by the academic. And then from there, we can see what is missing. So from whatever missing, the graduate can actually top up from their effort. So we need this very fast solution to answer to these mismatch issues. So World Economic Forum, WEF, estimate that by 2025, automation and AI will displace 85% million jobs. However, fret not, we will have 97 million new roles. And these new roles, you need to have emphasis on transformative nature of IR 4.0. So you need to know a lot of new technologies. And then McKinsey and Company emphasize that the raising demand for data-driven roles, that by 2030, 800 million jobs will require significant digital skill. So as I said, the academia need to actually improve their syllabus to actually cater for these significant changes. This is also mentioned by Kakiotti, 2017, that university need to find the proper position in knowledge economy so that the industry, the university, policymaker, industry can collaborate and create program that can obtain practical experience that ensure the student to learn hard and soft skill. But all of this need time to actually to develop and to implement. So we are actually proposing, hey, look, if we have a job recommender system, what if we get the information from the industry? This is where we get a basic qualification, skill set, experience, exposure, what is needed to ensure that the graduate can work, we can get it from the job advertisement. And then the industry, the university will basically give us what the graduate knows. Where we get it, that is from the syllabus. From the syllabus, we know that what are the skills, what are the knowledge learned by the learned by the students while they are acquiring when they study specific course. And the graduate themselves, they can actually have professional certification, extracurricular pursuit. They are very active in doing CSR, for example. And all of this can be actually collected together. And then when we collect together, we will basically match and rank what are the suitable posts that they can actually go. So by doing this kind of job recommender system, we can actually have the information from the industry, what do they need, from the university, what that they can actually produce or provide, and from the graduate, what are the added value that they add for themselves. So these are basically the talent development ecosystem. We have all the three components, and then it is like backward propagation. We can actually improve on the curriculum based on whatever the input that given by the industry. And then, of course, the industry can also give the impact or the input to the academia so that the academia can basically improve and, of course, produce the talent that they want. So this is what we are proposing. We have the data collection from the syllabus. Is taken from computer science syllabus in UiTM. And then we also have job advertisement from Job Street from January to June 2023, 2,124 job posting on computer science alone, because that is our scope. We want to see, because in computer science, there's a lot of job. And then we want to know what are specific need for specific job and what kind of syllabus that can match to the job advertisement.
Dr.
So we have the data
Nurhazinda,
processing.
sorry to interrupt you, but you have only 1 minute left.
All right. So basically the job profile metric. So these are the result and discussion, and basically we are actually proposing that proof of concept that from the information from the industry, from the information from the university, from the information from the graduate itself, we can actually combine them together, and then this can be used to improve on the syllabus for the long run. But we also manage to actually capture all this essence and substance that is needed for us to actually fulfill what are the requirements for the job that we need to have the talent to fill in. Without that, I thank you.
Thank you so much. Well done. So any question from the audience, please? Okay. I think your topic is one of the most necessary topic that all of us in all the globe, we need to focus on that with the speed in the rapid of this AI. So this is something scary, right? Losing all these job opportunities in future. So I have few things to check with you. So this is a global issue, we all understand. But one thing that I wanted to know is that how would you solve this issue of soft skills? I know that if you rely on the schools, they would coming up saying that all the subjects and all the topics that they covered for the students to get graduate. And then you would ask the students, because, for example, me and my office, I always face the same issue. They would send a very good resume, but when they come to work, we can see that soft skills is missing, and the resume is very promising, but which is not very proper. So how are you going to solve this issue? Because AI is just like a software. You're going to give the program saying that this is the resume. It's like you will upload a resume there, and then the college will certify that this student has gone through this program. But it's gonna, I mean, still we are going to have that lack of soft skills or anything else that is still missing in our graduate students, fresh graduates, right? So still we cannot solve this issue with AI, right? It's just like
We can though.
job.
We can actually.
Okay.
We can actually, provided that we have AI is a tool, like you said, but is as long
Yeah.
as we get the data. For example, maybe we can conduct interview that the AI the AI can actually capture what would be, you know, the soft skill that you want, the high thinking or the skill that we need. So we may ask them to do some tasks. So those tasks, from their response, we will know whether they are capable or not. Of course, this is not realized yet. This is
Yeah,
not
because
realized
I
yet.
couldn't see it in your research. Maybe I mean, contribution as a part of, I mean, recommendation, you could recommend that we have to focus on softer skills too, because if I don't mistaken, in your paper, you have appointed the issue of softer skills missing among the students. Well, I couldn't see any solution for that, and then maybe you can recommend for
Future work.
future studies
Uh-huh.
in the
Thank you
same
very
field,
much.
right?
Yeah, thank
So
you.
anyway, good luck. I enjoyed your presentation too. Do you have anything to add?
I'm good. I'm good. Looking forward to other
All right.
sessions. Thank you.
Thank you. So shall we proceed with next presenter, please? Investigating behavioral intention towards adopting artificial intelligence service robots technology in hospitality. Let me find out who is our presenter. Can I have
Peng Jin. Mr. Peng Jin.
Chang Ding?
Yep.
Yes, I'm here.
Peng Cheng.
Yes. Hello, Examiner.
Sorry if I couldn't pronounce your name correctly. I'm so sorry for that.
That's good.
So if you're ready, let me know and please introduce yourself and in case that you have any international co-presenter.
Okay, let me find how to share my screen.
If I'm not mistaken, at the right bottom of your page, you can see how you can share slides.
Hello everyone. My topic is investigating behavior intention towards adopting artificial intelligence service robot technology in hospitality in China. So basically, I focus on how Chinese people acceptance for the service robot technology in hotel industry. This my content. The first one I will to talk about introduction and research scope. Next one, I will talk about the problem statement and the research objective and gap. The second one, I will talk about the summary of literature review. Next one is conceptual framework. Next one, the research methodology. At least that is the research and the limitation and the suggestion. So basically, I mentioned about some literature review about the artificial intelligence in hospitality. There's some literature already mentioned about the AI adopting in hospitality, but they not very deeply talk about how they work and what's the relationship between the reaction about the work and the AI robot service. And another one, there are little literature, I mean the limited literature mentioned about the Utah 2 model and related about the risk of a pandemic, because the pandemic impact our daily life very seriously. So the limited studies mentioned about pandemic. This is the reason why I want to study the AI about this area. And the second one, limited study involve whether time spent on smartphone and satisfaction as the moderation and mediation roles to reveal customers' behavior intention in the AI in hospitality industry. Because when we use some application, they already installed in the smartphone. So the AI service robots also our customer should conduct and rely on the smartphone to conduct the AI robot in hospitality. So I also want to research, is there smartphone or the satisfaction really impacts people to use AI robot service in this industry. Next one, I want to know the time saving orientation and the money saving orientation it really impacts people to use AI service robots. And this is my research objective. The first one, I want to examine the demographic factor towards the behavior intention of AI service robot in hospitality in China. The second one, to investigating the effect of all advocating behavior infecting towards adoption AI service robot technology in hospitality in China. The second one, to identify the moderator role of satisfaction between all infection factors, is including the Utah's 4 core variables that called performance expectance, effect expectance, and social influence and facilitating conditions, as well as including the other 2 variables. That means price saving orientation and time saving orientation. Also, the fourth, I want to verify the moderation role of time spent on smartphone. I mentioned smartphone is very important for the customer to conduct the AI service in hospitality. So I want to know is really a moderator role in the hospitality industry. So my framework basically on these 2 promise framework. The first one is a Taiwanese audience. They research the spend time on the smartphone, and they also mentioned about the Utah 2.4 variables. Another one, the person he mentioned about satisfy about the Utah 2's the relationship between the Utah 2 and satisfaction and intention in behavior intentions. So my framework is like that. This 1, 2, 3, 4. These 4 belong to the Utah 2 theory, and these 2, I think when people want to go to the AI service robot hotel, it may want to save the money and save the time, so they want to choose the AI robot service. It can help them to do that, but spend time means spend time on smartphone. If elderly people, they spend so much time on the smartphone, they do not want to go to the AI robot service. But young people, they spend time on their smartphone, very less time to do something, can conduct the AI robots, then they prefer to use the smartphone to conduct the AI service, AI robot service. And the satisfaction means that if the customer, they feel very satisfaction, they will to recommend this AI service robots hotel or hospitality to their friends or their family go there to consume. So this is my framework. Next one, this is my research methodology. And I do the descriptive research and deductive, because I want to know the demographic factor. Is there demographic factor really impacts the people acceptance to the AI service, AI robot service, I mean, in hospitality industry. Then I do the questionnaire in the 问卷星, and I choose the random sampling, and totally the question is 58 items, and I do the PLS to analyze the results and do the pilot test. So this is my population analyze. The male and the female is equal in the population, and most of the population is the employee in student salary, and most of the people, they earn the money about 5,000 yuan to 6,000 yuan, because this questionnaire conducted in the China. So basically the salary is RMB. Next slide. And this is the results of the measurement of the items. I do the three value. The first one is the loading value, and the second is CR value, and the last one is the AVE value. All the value in the best way, they all above the 0.8. So it means that items is reliable in a good variability and validity. And when I do the sampling size, I choose 2 ways, but finally I choose the G-power. The first one is the Mongo formulation. It means when I want to choose more than 1 million people, then I should to choose the sample size for 384. And next one is the G-power. When I do the G-power, the results show me I should to choose 217 people for my sample size. But basically I choose 300. It means the more than 217 people. And this is my results. Basically, the accepted and rejected is equal, and more the result proves that Utah 2 can this one, and the final one basically is accepted. Means Utah 2 can actually impacts people's behavior intention when they choose the AI service robots. And the satisfaction can really impact the behavior intention towards in the hospitality. But the time spent not respected impacts the behavior intention. So this is my results and the limitation and suggestion. The results show that investigating the behavior intention of AI robot hospitality industry in China, providing a basis for the research on smart hotel industry to use AI service robot to improve efficiency and enhance customer satisfaction. And the present study combined 2 theories, which are Utah 2 and satisfaction theory, and determination the influential effect of time spent on a smartphone as one motivation role and satisfaction as a mediating role in the study. But there also have some limitation in my study. The limited time to collect the demographic factor only in the metropolis of the province in China, I mean the big city in China. The quantitative data collected in this study is limited. And the suggestion is that it recommends that for future research should consider more variables mentioned in other theories, such as the technology readiness theories. So this is my presentation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any question from the audience, please? Okay. That was your topic reminded me during the COVID, we had the same presentation. I think the presenter was from Indonesia, if I don't mistaken, but they did the same research almost. So thanks for the presentation that you had. I just want to ask you to consider that while you were presenting, and I had this background through the presentation that I said before, that was quite similar topic. If you search in Google Scholar, you will see a lot of references and citation that you could refer, since China was, I guess, the first country that during the COVID they started using the robots according to this pandemic and all. China was the first country that they used these robots for the hospitality. In hospitals and then in the hotels and all the other situations, same situations. And I was wondering why you mentioned that it's not enough in-depth research towards the role of, comparison between, let me bring you the sentence. There are not many related in-depth research exploring the relationship between difficulty in recruiting workers in low-end services industry and robot services in hospitality. Because if you just simply Google Scholar, use the Google Scholar, this topic, you can find out a lot of references. So for me, it's just like you better to check the references, right?
Right.
Okay, otherwise, one more thing that I wanted to ask you is that some of the pages, they are with tables and figures, but when you talk about, using this AI technology and all, maybe you could put some pictures of existing situation in China hospitality using the robots.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Make it more tangible for us. Okay, if you have anything to add, I'm here, but if you have nothing to comment or any more information to add, maybe we can proceed with our next presenter.
Okay, thank you for your suggestion. I will do it in the future. Thanks.
You're welcome. Good luck for your future studies.
Thanks.
Thank you. So
Thank
can we
you.
proceed with the next presenter, understanding the ecotourism behavioral intention by expanding the theory of planned behavior?
Okay. Did you
I can see your slide too.
Slide. Okay. Let's begin.
Good luck, and your 2 minutes starts now.
Okay, thank you. It's my honor to be here to take this presentation. And today I'm going to talk about my detail from my study is understanding the ecotourism behavior intention by explaining the series of planned behavior. Ecotourism is a growing tide in the travel industry, but what drives people to engage in ecotourism activities? In this presentation, we explore the factors and influence ecotourism behavior intention. My name is Gao Jia. Nice to meet you guys. And the first step is exploring the importance of ecotourism. As we know, the definition of ecotourism is responsible travel to nature area that can service the environment and sustain the well-being of local people. The value of ecotourism in China, we can see from the government information publicity in 2021, China's totally domestic tourist arrival will be 3.246 billion, and ecotourism tourist arrivals will be 2.083 billion. More than half of China's domestic tourism arrives choose ecotourism this tourism way. So the need for sustainable tourism, the tourism industry can have negative environmental, social, and economic impacts. Ecotourism aims to mitigate this impact and create positive outcomes for all stakeholders. So the importance of studying ecotourism behavior intention, I'm going to take four parts of. Firstly, previous study, tourism decision making is a complex process. A large number of research objectives in tourism research over the past decade have focused on the determining tourist behavior intention at tourist destinations. There are few studies on ecotourism, and secondly, current issues. Ecotourism has a low impact on the environment, is respectful of local culture, and contribute greatly to conservation of resource. Therefore, understanding the behavior intention factors that influence tourist choice of travel modes impact is important for the progress of tourism. Thirdly, currently challenges how to attract the retrain ecotourism tourists to make ecotourism again. The for ecotourism behavior intention, this study of the ecotourism behavior intention is most critical factor that can directly the ecotourism behavior of the future tourists. The TPB is often to use and analysis the people's behaviors. So next we're going to overview the TPB. In my study, I have the 4 independent variable and 1 mediating variable and 1 dependent variable. So one of them is attitudes and subject norm and perceived behavioral control. The 3 include in TPB series. And another is perceived value. The perceived value is tourism is overall evaluation of ecotourism products of service from the perspective of gains and lose. And also the important variable, I think, is satisfaction. Satisfaction as a subjective evaluation of a tourist perception of tourist destinations or tourist service. We can see the 2 pictures of in my slide. One is both of them are from Yunnan. This is my sampling location. This Yunnan is south part of China, and the research was conduced in National Park, Shangri-La, and ranked second in China in terms of tourism revenue in 2022. Measurement to quantitatively analysis the variable in the mode, and the study reviewed the literature and selected the most possible scale to ensure the variable. All the scale were assessed use 5-point Likert scale. 3 data collection is totally we found the 400 responsible, and we choose 350 at the final. The data analysis used PLS Smart 3.0, and the picture also the ecotourism destination. We get the data from the Yunnan province, China. And this is my study.
I think Gaojia is having some technical issue right now.
All right, but that was the last slide, if I don't mistaken.
Yeah, almost finished his presentation.
Yeah. Is any of his co-presenter online that can continue finishing?
Yeah, we have 2 co-authors here. Okay, myself and also Ding, the previous presenter.
Okay,
I
so
think
maybe
Gaojia
you
is.
continue the last slide.
I think Gaojia is in already. Hi, Gaojia, can you hear us?
You had only 1 minute left, so maybe you can just go through the conclusion.
I think it's okay for the teams to end our presentation here. Yeah, for the channel.
All right, so in this case, I would just like continue with give you the comment. So thanks for the presentation that you all presented to us. But one thing was, what I'm saying is just because I didn't go through your papers, what I had was only your presentation. So when you try to, you have spent, let's say, 6 months a year for a research. So when you are doing the presentation, the whole thing that you are presenting is just like 10 slides. So in these 10 slides, I could understand that you have done a lot, but I cannot see as much effort that you have done through the paper in your presentation. For example, in the whole 10 slides, I could see only 2 references. So it's something like missing. Whatever your co-author was presenting, and I really like to see the references, but there is nowhere in your slide that I can see any citation. This is one point. And then I knew that you had objectives, aims, and all, but when it comes into presentation, it's not very properly appointed in your presentation, in your slides. And then when it comes into your previous studies, so that's the main part that I would like to see some of the literature, some of the previous research, which is missing too. All right, so I know that it was a very important research. It's a very interesting topic, but a lot of information, detailed information is missing in your slide. I know that the pictures are nice, but I mean, instead of having lots of pictures, which is very necessary for your presentation, I would like to have a little bit of like, I mean, detailed information. So I have to guess what was your aim, what was your objective. So I have to guess where was the scope. So it's just like, I mean, I needed to have more quantitative information, like, I mean, the references, the aim, objective, and when it comes to conclusion, so the limitation, I cannot understand why the limitation should be demographic. So demographic in the limitation is just like, I mean, you have your scope are the tourists, right? And
Yeah.
your author didn't mention any issue having with the demographic part of the the questions when the survey audiences. So it's just like, I mean, it's a little bit confusing. I know that you have done a very good research, but
Mhm.
presentation was a little bit like, I mean, confusing because important key messages are missing in your slide.
Okay, so yeah, perhaps for the PPT, we will need to like include all the important detail like you mentioned on the scholars,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah,
in
just
which
the
year they're mentioning.
presentation.
Uh-huh.
I'm 100% sure that you have put all this information in your paper, but when it comes into presentation, I have only 10 minutes to understand what you're trying to tell me. It's just like, I mean, so sometimes something important is missing, so it's my role to tell you for next time. It's better to have more information like citation, and then this part of limitation, I didn't get it. What do you mean by this? I mean, demographic was a part of limitation when he was presenting, and he didn't mention anything that he faced any issue with that, right?
Mhm.
Okay, send
Yeah.
my regards to your co-author and good luck for your future studies.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Doctor.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So I guess it's gonna be our last presentation.
Yeah, so I will be the next presenter for my team.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So let me share my screen now.
Sure.
So I will have a co-presenter, which is Meng
You
Ying.
are Miss Ying Meng, right?
Meng Ying is our co-authors, and yeah, she's here as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then please introduce yourself, and then anytime you're ready to share your slide with us, okay. So my dear, your 10 minutes starts from now. Please
Okay.
manage your time.
Yeah, can you
Good
see my
luck.
screen right now? Yes, right?
Yes, I can see your
Okay,
slide.
that's
Yeah.
great. Okay, so
Okay, good luck.
Meng Ying, would you want to start your presentation for the first two slides? Okay, so then our research title is Analysis of the Determinants of Work-Life Balance. In short, that would be WLB on the transportation employees in China. So these are my co-authors. Right, so
An analysis of the determinants of work-life balance on transportation employees in China. The background service sector is becoming China's largest industries by GDP composition, according for 15.52% of the nation's GDP in 2020, ARC Group 2021. Service sector employees in China is facing the challenge in achieving the work-life balance in the post-pandemic era.
okay, yeah, thank you, Meng Ying, for
Research objectives are one to determine the levels of effective of various determinants of achieving the work-life balance on employees' job satisfaction in the service sector. To investigate the significant relationship between those factors towards the work-life balance on employees' job satisfaction in the service sector. 3. to measure the medication effect between those factors and job characteristics towards the work-life balance on employees' job satisfaction in the service sector. All four, to narrow the existing literature gaps between the determinants and the mediating effect towards the work-life balance on employees' job satisfaction in the service sector in China.
Okay. Right, so thank you for the presentation, Meng Yi. Right, so now with the research objective that we mentioned just now, the 4 research objective, so we come up with the our research framework here, whereby we have 12 of the independent variables, and then we would like to look into for the mediating effect of job characteristic towards our focus in the dependence variable on the employee's job satisfaction. And we look into for the journals articles supported by and adapted from all these scholar from previous study. So according to we hereby have 3 theory, which is compensation theory, spillover theory, and also work versus family border theory to support on our study here. So on top of here, we have fair compensation, opportunity for growth, and also the work environment, supervision support, justice, and also equality, rewards and recognition, job security and autonomy and control, and following with the participations in the decision making, effective communication, and also professional respect and also work challenge. We have so much independent variables here because we want to look into what would be the most significant one in terms of like impact on the job satisfaction in the service sector in Beijing, China. Right, so these are the sources that we have. So now in terms of the research methodology that we actually applied, we only look into for those selected transportation employees in Beijing. So they are the employees that actually work in the transportation industry, and we're applying for quantitative research, right? According to our questionnaire items with the 5 Likert scale calculation. So overall, since we have several independent variables, so we have 70 items inside, and we're using SPSS and also SmartPLS to run our data. So we managed to distribute 800 questionnaire, and only 7 and 8 respondent has fully filled on the question items and are considered valid, and we run on these 7 and 8 results based on these respondents. So when we look into here, we can see that only when they actually consider the residents in Beijing, then they can actually continue to answer the questionnaire, right? So there will be 54 of them are actually male, and then most of them is actually from 28 years old to 34 years old, and they are majority working in that service from 6 to 12 years already, right? So of course we look into for the reliability and also validity test over here, so we can see that the MVE and also Cronbach alpha is actually more than this one is actually more than 0.8, and over here we have more than 0.6, which show that it's actually our result is actually reliable and also valid. So looking forward here, we found that using the SmartPLS that we run, we can see that our R square is actually quite high, which is 88%, whereby this is our initial research objective as well. We want to look into how many percent that our independent variable can actually explain our dependent variable. So all is actually accepted for our study here. All right, so then we would come to a conclusion that we would say that it's actually work-life balance is actually a cycle for every of the employees. It's not really an achievement, but it's actually day-to-day that they will need to look into to focus on their work-life balance. And it is not only good for the employees, but also for their companies. All right, so the research is actually successfully made on the objective. And of course, if in future, perhaps we can actually look into for other cities as well. And then we would look into like perhaps the job characteristic would be one of the most crucial points that we will actually look into. So discussion and recommendation that we can say that among the determinants, fair compensation is the highest factors that actually contribute. So and that will actually encourage us to look into more details. Perhaps that would be qualitative study in the future. So that's all for my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. I really appreciate your time management. It's even less than 10 minutes.
All right. Thank you, Dr.
All right.
Sarana. Yeah.
Thank you, my dear. So one more thing that I just wanted to share with you is that most of the things you have done, I can see all your effort, and then as you can see, you can compare this slide with your previous slide, right? So all the references are there for us as an audience to read. But the only thing is that I would first of all, I have to say that you have done a very good job. So well done, and I really enjoyed your presentation, and information was very clear. Objective is very clear. Your finding has a very strong message, and the topic that you have picked, it's something very important because this is something that Europe is facing, and they're investing to do all this research to bring this work balance for the transporters and all these things.
Thank you
so,
for your comment.
You're welcome. The only thing that I wanted to ask you is that most of the references are older than 10 years. So maybe
My
you
reference.
have to consider, yeah, you have to consider latest references and citation. I know it's still 2017, it's acceptable, but I know as suggestion by the committee, it's always to pick references and citation that they are last 5 years.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, I will look into it.
Yeah, that's it. The only thing, the comment that I have is this one. The rest was very clear. I have no comment.
Okay.
I
will
enjoyed
look
your
into
presentation.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm happy for that. Yeah.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you. Yeah.
So any question from the audiences? Okay.
Chairman, I see just now you see this group as the last one, but I think maybe I'm the last one to do the presentation. Yeah, you can see my slide now.
Yes, I can see your slide. Good luck, my dear.
Okay, now I'm ready. Thank you. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Goge Chang from China, and now I'm a PhD student in Sagi University. Here is my topic, self-regulated learning and academic achievement in blended learning in China. There are 6 parts in my presentation. It includes introduction, literature review, methodology, findings, discussion, and conclusion and recommendation. Here's the research background of my study. There are altogether 3 parts. The first background is the student enrollment has increased dramatically in recent years in Chinese colleges and universities, which causes some problems, including large class size, limited time, and few classroom communication opportunities. In addition, students in China were used to the traditional teacher-centered mode, preferring to listen to teachers' instruction during class time, which caused their passive engagement in the classroom. And the third background is the popularity of blended learning in China, especially after the pandemic. And now let's look at the problem statement of this study. And previous study have shown that SRL is critical to the autonomous learning and lifelong learning. However, it was used with low frequency, and there are limited studies in blended learning, especially in higher education institution. Therefore, this study will investigate students' SRL levels, examine correlations and causal relationships between SRL levels and academic achievement. Here are the 4 research questions. The first one is, what are the levels of SRL strategies among students in blended learning? And the second one is there a significant relationship between the use of SRL strategies and academic achievement. And the third one is how well a set of variables can predict academic achievement. And the last one is which SRL strategies can influence academic achievement mostly. And here is the literature review. The first one, according to the previous study, SRL is critical in contemporary education, and SRL theories developed rapidly. Learners use the SRL strategies differs based on their educational level and learning context. And based on the previous studies, there are some contradictory results. Some studies have shown positive relationships between SRL and academic achievement. Well, there are also some studies show there's no correlation between SRL and academic achievement. And there are also some other studies show SRL is context-specific study. Therefore, there's the necessity to do the present study. Here is the methodology of this study. And this study is a quantitative-based research. And the sampling method is purposive sampling technique. And there are 90 respondents in Shandong, China, who take English classes in blended learning environment, take this study, and at last 88 questionnaires were returned. Here are the research instruments of this study, and the questionnaire is from Bernard et al. 2009. It is named the Online Self-Regulated Learning Questionnaire, and another research instrument is a standard text test. And let's look at the finding of my study. The first finding is about the levels of SRL. According to the table, we can see students showed a high level of SRL in the blended learning environment, with the overall SRL being 3.76. In addition, two constructs of SRL are at a medium level, with goal setting showing the lowest and help seeking indicating the second lowest. And the four constructs of SRL are at a high level in descending order: environmental structuring, task strategies, self-evaluation, and time management. And according to table 2, the correlations between SRL and academic achievement are also found. Based on the table, we can see the correlation between goal setting and achievement is 0.279, which indicates a positively weak correlation. And the correlation between other SRL variables, including environmental structuring, task strategies, time management, help seeking, and self-regulation and achievement, is a positively moderate correlation, with correlations at 0.553, 0.513, 0.531, 0.394, and 0.536 respectively. And this is the table 3, which shows the multiple regression analysis of SRL on academic achievement. According to the table, it indicates the set of 6 constructs of SRL together contribute to 36.8% of the variation of achievement. Now let's look at the table 4. It shows the stepwise regression analysis of SRL on academic achievement. The outcome of it shows environmental structuring is the best predictor of academic achievement, followed by time management, and the second best and it is the second best predictor. And environmental structure can explain a 30.6% variance in achievement, and time management contributed to 4.6% percentage variance in achievement. And here's the discussion of this study based on the previous study. Here is the discussion of the present of the current study. The first discussion is about the level of SRL. This study show the level of SRL is comparatively low, especially the levels of goal setting and help seeking are notably low. And for the environment structuring, task strategies, self-evaluation, and time management levels, these SRL constructs are comparatively high in blended learning environment. The results of this study contrast with the previous research by AQoL in 26 on the environment of MOOC. And another discussion about the correlation between SRL and academic achievement show that there's a significant, this study show that there's a significant positive correlation between SRL and academic achievement, and all the 6 SRL constructs correlates with academic achievement at different levels. And the result of this study consistent with previous studies findings conducted by Li et al. In 2019. And another discussion is the predictive power of SRL on academic achievement. This study showed that 6 SRL constructs can be positively and significantly related to academic achievement, and time management is the best predictor of achievement, which is consistent with previous studies by Yu et al. 2021, Green et al. 2018, and Krosnin in 2007. Now let's look at the conclusion and recommendation for the future studies. In this study, the research objectives were achieved, including an investigation of students' SRL levels, an examination of the correlation between SRL and achievement, and analysis of the influence of SRL on achievement. Based on the findings, students' SRL are high in a blended learning environment, and their SRL contributes to academic achievement. Therefore, there should be a focus on using self-regulated learning strategies and cultivating self-regulated learning among students. Based on the findings of this study, learners in a blended learning setting can better understand how to self-regulate their learning, especially improving the SRL strategies they like. Additionally, it provides instructors with a better understanding of creating a more effective language curriculum by integrating SRL into blended learning environments. Lecturers and course designers of blended learning environments should be aware that different self-regulated strategies are important, and students should be equipped with these SRL strategies. Policymakers and school management are suggested to offer a more flexible environment to instructors to design the blended course that is suitable for their courses. That's all for my presentation. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you for your good time management. Any question from the audience, please? So today everyone is very quiet. Okay, so I just wanted to ask something. So when we go through your presentation, so I know, I mean, the same, I'm not aware if you were here when your friends were presenting to last slide. So I have the same comment to you, because I know that the topic needs a lot of effort from you, but when it comes to presentation, here at the second page research background, I have only 3 short sentences. So which I needed when we talk about background, it comes always with are you here?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm listening.
All right. So I couldn't see. I couldn't see any references. There is nothing that I can understand. What do you mean by the research background? popularity of blended learning. So what do you mean? Is it popular or it's not popular? So who said that it's popular? I mean, are we talking about which country? Where is the scope? So it's just like I'm very blah. Your second slide, research background, need a lot of amendment. So, but the problem statement, instead of problem statement for me was a better research background explanation. You simply said that SRL is critical. Maybe you could add some references here. Who said that SRL is critical? So how can you support your statement? However, so it's going to be like, I mean, this one, the third slide with having some citation or references, I mean, could help more as a research background. So the research question, which I can understand, it's something that you could drag your research objective out of it. But when it comes to research review, I still need to have more than 2 or 3 references, right? So it should have a little bit more references to support your statement. The methodology, I respect it, and that was well done, thank you. And the only thing that I want to add is that when it comes to discussion and recommendation are the 2 parts that is a free stage for researchers to talk their voices. It's going to be something that it's your outcome and you will share with others. This isn't something that you don't need to bring references. It's your finding that you want to discuss with others. But when it comes to your discussion, you did bring a reference saying that consistent with previous studies finding. So this is something very clear that you will recommend to attach previous studies to your study and the future studies. It's just like the discussion, it didn't need the last one.
Okay, noted.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
But I like your confidence and the way that you express and then the way that you presented. Oral presentation was fine. But the only thing was that the graphic, it needs a lot of amendment. The slide.
Okay, got it.
Okay, but the content was fine. The topic, it's very important and very interesting. It's very necessary for all of us to have this kind of research, not only in China, and everywhere. It's a global issue. All of us in our countries, we have to focus on this subject. And the way that you present was very nice. Thank you. Very informative. The only thing is that the slides.
Okay, thanks for your comments. Thank you.
You're welcome. So if there is anything that you would like to add, I'm here to hear.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Good luck for your future presentations and researches. Okay.
Thank you very much.
So that was my honor to be with you, and I really enjoyed all of your presentation. And thanks to Prof. Yusuf to give me this chance to be with you again.
Yeah, thank you. Can we take a group photo together?
Yes, please. We do always.
Hi, Prof. Yusuf. Hi, nice to see you again.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Professor.
nice to see you again. Well, it's in the video. We'll just screenshot. Can all the participants, all are camera shy actually?
I opened my camera, but it's not appearing, and I'm not sure why.
Yeah, I can see you.
You can see me. I can't see myself. Sorry.
Oh, really? We can see you.
First of
Please
all, yeah. First of all,
I can see now.
I would like to say thank you very much to Dr. Sharana. I enjoyed your
You're
comments.
welcome.
Yeah, I enjoyed your comments. Very critical, and your advice to the participants. I also enjoy your advice actually. And
Thank you.
It has been a long day, and you make our day actually. Very lively, critical comments. Thank you very much, Sharana. Hope to see you again. Yeah, in future.
Yeah, definitely. In future. So can we have a group picture?
By the way,
So here in Tehran, it's very cold.
Yeah,
Here is very cold.
yeah. We hope we can have another conference in Tehran or in
Yeah.
Yeah, we hope to
Yeah,
visit you one day.
in the near future. It was in 2015, I think we did in Tehran. That was like wow, 7, 8 years ago. I miss
So we make it either
I
in
miss-
Tehran or in Milan.
Milan, ooh.
we'll see how it goes. Okay. Anyway, do we have all the cameras on? Because we're still seeing all the cameras.
My camera is on, but I
Mine
cannot
is
see
on, but I
others.
can't see myself.
Right.
Dr. Timmy, take a photo.
We'll do the Photoshop after the session. Right. Smile. Smile.
Okay.
Right. 1, 2, 3.